Hello, in this section we see about CSS attribute selectors. You can select elements by their attributes and style according to our needs. So let's see how we apply CSS selectors in HTML. So let's have first some elements, for example anchor element having href for example www.google.com. Let's make some adjustments, HTTPS, and having target attribute of something blank Google link. Let's have another attribute called the same attribute href having a link to https www.hu.edu.at and target. Let's leave the target House University. So in order to style these elements, for example, select these elements, we can select this by simply applying A, then having target attribute. So the square bracket indicates that an attribute selector. So what attributes you want to select? Target. If you want to select href, you can say href. So having any attribute, having a target attribute, will have the following properties. So the color to become red. Now if you open the page, so since it's not applied the property, the problem is we do not apply target correctly here. We say target. Now if we refresh, we see that the property having the target is style to simply for red. We can also use another property, for example A for having href property, but the value is https www.hu.edu.at. So if the href value is directly this way, we can apply a color or other properties. So let's say color of blue and font family of area. So if you now rephrase this, as you see, the color is changed to blue and area font family. So this is how we apply attribute selectors in HTML. We can also have another properties. Let's see by adding some elements. So let's add some div elements having a class of, for example, div 1. This is div 1. The second one is simply div class div 2. This is div 2. So we can select this element simply, for example, here. So div, then square brackets, which indicates attribute selector, then class attributes. Simply we put the caret before the addition, sorry. So which means a div element having a class attribute and the class name starts with div. So for that we get font size of, simply let's give 25 pixel, and color of, or background color of simply black, and text or color of white. So let's separate the two. So here we have two divs. The first one starts with div, which is the div caret indicates that the div starts with, or the class name starts with div. So for this, the first one, it applies a font size, background color, and text color. But the second one does not start with div class name, so it does not apply. So if we now refresh the page, as we see, for the first element, it applies some elements. So we can also use other properties. The same property plus, here we use $, which indicates in the Swiss div. Then we can apply properties. So for example, margin top of 10 pixel, background color of tomato, and color of white. Now if we refresh, we get this div. So we can apply such behaviors by using attribute selectors. There are so many behaviors. For example, let's have one of them, and so div class, and we use asterisk, which indicates that a class name containing some value, what you define here. For example, letter I, or sorry, letter W. Since W is in the second element only, we get some property. So for this one, we apply font style to italic, and font weight to bold. So if you refresh now the page, look over here, we get style and bold text. So anything that contains letter W in the class name have that property. If we change this to I, since I is on both sides, class 1, and for div1 and for div2, both elements get the same property. So like look over the black background. So that is attribute selectors in CSS. Thank you.